15th, 2020 order suspending, I just lost, imposing strict limitations on the number of people that may gather in one place. This the meeting of the Hubbardton Council on Aging will be conducted via remote participation to the greatest extent possible. Specific information and the general guidelines for remote participation by members of the public and or parties with a right and or requirement to attend this meeting can be found on the town's website. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access these proceedings in real time, because we will post on the town's website a comprehensive record of proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting. So the only thing that is really different with a virtual meeting is that if you are going to be voting on any items today, you need to do it in a roll call manner. So there's no just everyone saying aye. We have to go through each person and they have to give their answer individually. So that's pretty much it. So this is recorded. It goes onto a cloud and it gets put onto the website. And that's pretty much it. And I'll be here if you guys have any questions.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Marla.
We'll start our meeting with prayer. Is there anyone that'd like to say prayer?
Okay,
Okay.
let's try it. Tell me how it goes. Okay, you here? I'm gonna put on speaker.
Nancy talking it. Say prayer.
What?
God be with us. Keep us safe through this season.
What?
And let us make good choices,
Not speaker.
keeping everyone healthy. Amen.
Amen.
Okay. Agenda for today, the treasurer's report is first.
Okay,
Excuse me, Flo, could I just say I would like to welcome
Sure.
Ken. I'd like to have everyone to welcome Ken. He's a new member to our board and he's going to be our new treasurer. So Ken, welcome aboard.
thank you very much. I really look forward to doing this.
Welcome, Ken.
Involved,
Welcome,
a little bit more with the town, and you know, I certainly qualify as somebody to be on the Council of Aging. So, you know, at least I can do something besides just support the library on the runs. You know, so.
Which we thank you for very much.
That's okay. It's for me, particularly as a runner, it's wonderful for me to be able to contribute to something I love, and also to have it, you know, help the town as well. So,
We're glad to have you.
well, thank you. And now that I'm like a bunch of other people, in March, when the governor, I was working part-time 2 to 3 days a week for a CPA in Leominster. And once he shut down, that's it, you know, so I'm out of a job. So, but this is great because it's provided me with the time to do this and also an interest, you know? So it works out very well for me.
It's a win-win.
Yes, it is.
It's great.
Thank you.
Can someone give me some information on how, I saw a thing somewhere here about raising your hand and stuff like that. How do we do that? How do we give input without being intrusive?
I suppose you could raise your hand. You can see them on the screen.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
There was some kind of a little icon too that I saw somewhere, but I don't
Yeah.
remember where.
So Bonnie, if you have something to say too, there is an option for chat. So if you are wanting to have something to say on the right, there should be a chat box that you can type into, and whoever's calling the meeting can call on you.
A chat box? I see where type here to search. That's all. Is that what you're talking about?
I think Jane is trying to sign on, is she?
Yeah.
On my screen, the chat box is along the bottom.
Oh, it must be different for everyone then.
You might have to drag your mouse down there.
Are we all good with that?
Oh.
You have the red Treasurer's report?
No, no, the minutes, Flo.
Minutes first, right?
Oh, you want the secretary?
Minutes first.
Oh, minutes report, that's right. Sorry
Good
about
job,
that.
So
Jane.
you want me to,
Jane.
would you like us to
Jane.
go over the, would you
Hi.
like me to go over the treasurer's
Finally.
report?
Okay. So the secretary's report is what we want next, is that it?
Yes,
Okay, very good. Okay, so these are the minutes from October 16th, 2020. We started our meeting at 10:05 a.m. Present were Vice Chair Flo Purvier, Secretary Mel Shaughnessy, members Nancy Afonso, Bill Lipka, Jane Gregorio, and John Nason. Bonnie Cunningham was present via phone. Absent Chairperson Skip Scott and Treasurer Walter Scott. Flo opened the meeting with a prayer. The secretary's report was submitted by Mel Shaughnessy for the 5/27/20 meeting. Motion to accept Bill, second Jane and Bonnie, and the motion passed unanimously. The treasurer's report was presented by Claudia. The expense account balance, $3,756.71. Formula grant account balance, -112.14. The grant has not yet been received, but we have been using it ahead for transportation and delivery of meals. Gift account balance, $15,008.51. Motion to accept, subject to update, John. Second, Nancy. Motion passed unanimously. Director's report was presented by Claudia. Regarding the Christmas fair, Claudia indicated we may be able to have the Christmas fair if we meet with the Board of Health to discuss guidelines. The fair would need to be indoors as our deck will not be completed. The impact of the coronavirus, COVID-19, would be considered. Modifications were discussed. A committee was formed, including Claudia, Nancy, John, and Jane. They will meet with the Board of Health and provide an update at our next meeting. Motion to accept Jane, second Bill, motion passed unanimously. Old business, we are keeping track of people and their phone numbers as a COVID precaution. Nancy created a daily cleaning chart. The last duty person of the day should complete all cleaning tasks and initial the sheet at the end of the day. New business, Claudia requested a budget to purchase holiday decorations. Nancy made a motion for a $500 budget. Second Bill, motion passed unanimously. Mel to contact the Country Hen to see if the eggs could be delivered packed or if more boxes could be provided. Oops. Motion to adjourn Flo, second Bill, motion passed unanimously, and the meeting adjourned at 11:05 a.m. Next meeting to be held November 13th at 10 a.m.
Yes.
motion to accept,
You know what else is
motion
that
to accept.
in this meeting here? Hold on a minute.
John?
We need a motion to accept the minutes.
Motion to accept.
Motion.
Okay, Jane.
I'll second it.
Okay.
Yeah, we did, but no, it's no hurry.
Thank
It's
you.
Okay.
no.
And then we have to do it individually, who votes to accept.
If we
it?
vote on anything.
Right.
So motions
You have to do
too.
a roll call.
You have to do a motion to
Oh, yeah,
accept
no.
minutes. Does that have to be done individually too?
No, one motion, 1 second, and then you just call through everyone and they vote on it.
Okay,
Just raise
all
your-
right, so we're good there. Treasurer's report is next.
Okay. The balance
New
on
treasurer.
the balance on the expense account is $3,476.55.
Oh, well, don't worry about it because we're not.
The formula grant, the balance on the formula grant is a negative $250.11. There was another reimbursement to Ed Gossen for the mileage, for the Meals on Wheels. And on the gift account, there is a balance of $15,183.61.
Motion to accept the treasurer's report.
Motion?
Second,
Nancy
Second.
seconded the motion.
Okay.
All right. Any questions on that? No? Director's report?
I just got a call from Mark and we are gonna have a food delivery coming in after Thanksgiving. The boxes are gonna weigh like 30 pounds. So I thought, I have a list of everything that's coming in them. And I ordered 120 boxes so that everybody can get a 30-pound box for the holidays. I thought winter's coming, the holidays are coming. They've got vegetables, 2 pounds of onions, 5 pounds of potatoes, 3 pounds of apples, a pound of Cabot butter, 3 pounds of grated Parmesan cheese, a pound of mozzarella cheese, 3 pounds of cooked meatballs, 2 pounds of chicken, 2 pounds of whole liquid pasteurized eggs, and milk. So that's in one box. So,
Wow.
so that's coming in after Thanksgiving. So what I'm trying to say is we might need some help because we need to deliver it right away. I ordered 120 boxes so that we could pass them out. Everybody could get quite a few of this. It would be good for the holiday, and for the winter, you can freeze it. So what do you think on that? Or should I not get that many boxes?
Well, if we have that many people, I think we should, we can all
Well,
chip
usually-
in and do our
Once the
share.
word gets out, people will come, I think, or.
Yeah, we
I
just-
think that's a wonderful idea.
We
Mhm.
can split the boxes, but I mean, usually we split them. But since it's the winter coming and the holidays are coming, I thought they should get the whole thing. And
Definitely.
no problem giving us 100.
I agree.
Very
I think
thoughtful
it's
of
good,
them.
particularly with the increase in the COVID. You know, I think a lot of people are more reluctant to go out. And
Yeah.
to have something like this available to them, I think is wonderful.
Okay, good. All right, so
agree.
she'll let me know, and I don't know how soon she'll let me know, but we're gonna need help, delivering the boxes to the elderly housing and to any shut-ins we have and to our drive-through. So keep
Do
that
you
in
know
mind.
exactly
But you-
when after Thanksgiving?
I don't, that's the thing. I don't know. She'll call and tell me, and she'll give me a time frame, 2-hour time
Okay.
frame. So you'd probably have to be here. Yes, John? John?
I'm willing to help deliver.
Oh, good. Okay, good. Good. So I'll call you as soon as I find out from her. On the list, got 8.6 gallons of milk in one box. I think it means one. I think that's a mistake. You can't, it's 30 pounds. Can't have 8.6 gallons of milk. Who can drink all that? I think
Bill,
it's
did you have a question? Bill, did you have a question? I saw your
No, I was
hand up.
I was
think
going
that's a
to
gallon, isn't it?
volunteer to deliver, but
That's good.
pardon?
break, Bill.
Yeah, but
I said that-
it's one hookup. Thank you, but I'm having cataract surgery on the 24th on one eye. So I don't know, what can you do?
no, you
Can you
can't
do
lift.
lifting
You
or?
can't lift.
No,
No,
Can't bend over and you can't lift.
No?
I had cataract surgery
For how
2 years
long?
ago, and you really have to take it easy for a couple of 2-3 weeks as far as the lifting goes.
All right, so
Okay.
So
Well,
thank
Want to
Bill,
dislodge
Scratch my
stitches.
name.
There's enough of us around to deliver if we have to. We've got cars, everybody. Mel's husband's always around helping.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
I
can
want to
drive.
Help deliver.
I could
if-
drive, right?
If I'm around. My
Yeah,
wife and I
you
are
drive.
supposed to go on vacation after Thanksgiving, but who knows?
yeah.
Claudia, I'd be more than happy to help always too if it's off of work hours.
Okay, thank you, Mel.
Mel,
Mallory. I keep calling, yeah. So that's
I'll
about
call you
all I
anything.
I want.
Nancy wants to say something.
Oh,
you
Nancy?
didn't mention the day, but isn't it coming in Tuesday? We're talking that Tuesday before Thanksgiving, the Tuesday and Wednesday,
Oh,
right?
now that mixed up Nancy. That's just the mock meals. They're gonna double up their Thanksgiving meals that they always do. This is something separate. This this box of 30-pound box of food, that's different than the
Oh,
the mock meals are gonna,
so
they're
you
gonna
don't
deliver.
know.
I don't know when this box is coming in. Sometimes
Okay. Okay.
after Thanksgiving, but yeah. But the mock meals
Okay.
will be delivered on the 24th, and there will be extra meals to the shut-ins and the congregate meals and yeah. So I think
Got it.
that's, I mean, I'll talk about Christmas when we get there, but that's all I have, unless you have questions for me.
I got up late, so I had to get ready for this.
Bill, what's happening?
What about our other meetings that we have in
Oh,
the
no.
center, like bingo, things like that? Are we gonna be
I
able to?
I think as long as you have 8 people, right, Mallory? As long as
Yes.
there's 8 people, you can have your bingo, right now anyway. Am I
Okay.
right now? Yeah. So you
Okay,
can,
so we're sort of staying with the same amount,
and
that's all.
the painting is okay, because we only have like 3 people that come to that, and the coffee is okay. So, right now, we're okay with that. As
Okay,
far
thank
as
you.
Come over here so I can see you.
Any other questions? Nothing on the Christmas,
Well, I
thing
want
that's
to,
gonna be kinda
We're
hard
gonna
with
talk
our
about
limited. Yeah, limited amount of, that's gonna be hard to do.
So are we on old business or still director?
This is
Direct-
director.
Okay, director's report. So we're gonna talk Christmas fair. Okay.
You're all set?
well,
Yep.
I thought we were gonna do the Christmas fair under new business, no? You got
Okay,
your agenda for?
motion to accept the director's report?
Aye.
I'll make a
Bonnie?
motion to accept it.
And Ken. And old business,
New
is there
business,
anything, old business?
new business.
Yeah, but is there anything on old business that had to be covered? No?
Well, is the Christmas fair old business because we talked about it last time or no?
Well, no, it'll be new business because we're making
New
a
thing.
group. All right,
So,
new business. We'll go right to new business.
okay, so for Christmas, we can't have, well, we can't really have the Christmas fair. Well, we could if we could figure out a way to only let 8 people in at a time. So last night when I got home, I had talked to Mallory, and I talked to, a few people. Of course, I listened to the news and everything. And if it was me, I want to have the Christmas fair. I want to give people something to think about. I want to do our baskets. I want to do that. But on the other hand, I'm afraid that I don't want anyone to be sick, because if anybody ever got sick, I would feel horrendous. So
agree.
I was trying to think of a way. I have baskets all made. Joanne Westland brought in her cemetery basket, which is absolutely beautiful. I'm just thinking maybe we'll just downscale it. Maybe we can do the cemetery baskets, which would be fun to do. We can go in the woods and pick things and make the cemetery baskets, and maybe put them outside and have a drive-through a certain day or so, that they could drive through and maybe do the baskets, do the cemetery basket. And then the other thing is, I thought, since I have baskets already made, somehow we could maybe put them outside. We could plan a couple of days. We could maybe set up a tent. The thing is, the friends have a lot of stuff already prepared. We can't have any more than 25 people outside at a time. If we have them inside, could they come in by appointment? Are we gonna, I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna leave it up to the board. Whatever you guys want to do, I will go along with whatever you want to do. And as long as the Board of Health is okay with it, I will do it. I just don't want to have this whole responsibility myself.
John?
Marty, you might not have a choice, because if the COVID-19 cases keep rising the way they are, like Chicago today, put a 30-day ban on public gatherings of any kind, period, and the stay-home order. So that's down the road, I think, unless the vaccines kick in and it's no longer a problem. You could have, as a fallback, have Christmas in July or something of that sort. You know what I'm saying? Don't give it up. Just do it another time if you have to. This is going to end sooner or later.
So Claudia, with what you were talking about, we wouldn't invite vendors to come, or we would.
Well, I have, I did reach out before I got to thinking last night about all this stuff and trying to figure it out in my head and knowing what I want to do and then what I can do and what I can't do and what I do have a couple of vendors that want to come, and they would come for a whole week if we made appointments. People come in by appointment, we only allow 8 people in at a time. And one particular lady from town, her and her daughter, they do beautiful jewelry, and the friends also, they have so much stuff already prepared that it makes me feel a little bad that, what are they going to do? Mallory, I just don't know what about the tent thing? No? If we did an outside tent thing in a drive-by? No. Bad. Did you hear me, Mallory?
Yeah, so outside still has limits of 25, so it'd still have to be something that's monitored. And there's other guidelines for events that I'd have to look further into. So
Okay.
it's still going to be under restriction, a little less than inside, but it's restricted
Bless you.
and cold.
Ken?
I like obviously, I think that obviously have the Christmas fair is a wonderful thing. But what concerns me is we're already on the 13th of November. And it seems to me, the way things have been going the last 2 or 3 weeks, the governor has been tightening rules and restrictions. Now, I mean, we could say we could wait until right after Thanksgiving and see where we go. My only concern is that I don't want to see us do this. And I want everyone to understand, I think we should have it. But if the restrictions are where they are now or even tighter, are we kind of like shooting ourselves in the foot by making it so impossible to do? Outdoor space is very tight, and restricting people are kind of like, I like the idea of Christmas in July, and then have 2, next year, Christmas in July, and hopefully then after that, another one. I just don't want to see us tie ourselves in knots to try and put something together
Yeah, I just cut
that
my
really
audio.
isn't going to work.
So
And it isn't going to succeed the way we want it to succeed, because of the way we have to limit things.
Yeah, it's hard to do things at the last minute.
Well, we're going to have to do it at the last minute. because we really
Well, that's
don't know
it.
what the restrictions are.
You got the other ones on the floor. Horses, the one that has the 3 shelves, the wooden thing, okay.
Bonnie, we can still hear you.
Push the bed
You did
this way.
better audio.
And just wash those
Was,
shelves.
was there a potential date to have this?
December
Before you put audio back on.
Oh,
Just 'cause it might be long.
December 5th. Did you hear me, Ken?
In that December what?
5th.
I think
5th.
Well, because
just push the
And
bed
that's my point.
There's
Is
a lot.
yeah, closer to the
it's
door.
only really 3 weeks away, 3.5 weeks away.
Can you hear me a minute? The
Yeah.
church across the street is taking orders, and they are selling people drive-through. They're going to take orders. They put it out. They have a list of people. We could also do that with our cemetery baskets. I'm not saying we do everything, but maybe we can do something simple like that. I mean, maybe we could.
That would be good.
That might be a good idea to modify
You
it.
want,
Yes.
yeah, I mean, maybe we could make the
Basket
basket.
and
That would give us.
Mhm.
So in my mind, I'm thinking that would give us something else to think about, except for this horrible situation that we're in. Going out and picking the greens, and maybe a couple of us can come in. Some can make it at home. I think Jane, are you on there?
Yeah.
Where's
Yes.
Jane?
Right here.
He's at
Did
the
you get-
bottom center.
Jane, did you get the picture of the
Yes. 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 It was beautiful.
So what do you think? Would you be willing to make some at home and maybe we
Yeah,
could take notes on that?
Absolutely. Sure. Yes.
Because I've got a lot of stuff too, so
Okay.
maybe we could plan on doing that.
Yeah.
Nancy?
So we had discussed, Claudia and Skip came in yesterday. We had discussed my feeling, let me go back. My feeling is most of us still go to a grocery store or go to Walmart. We wear our mask. We sanitize our hands. I know that the Catholic Church in Gardner, I can't think of the name of it, but I know they did a Christmas fair a couple of weeks ago, and they did it over the span of 2 weeks, I believe. When I read a paper, 2 or 3 weeks. They only served food, which you had to call ahead and order. And they gave it to you, I guess, at the door. I know Claudia does the hunter stew and people like it, and the bread.
Yeah, that's good.
You could do that by ordering it, calling the senior center, ordering it, and deliver it. So they did it. Then they put this all in the paper, and it was, like I said, a weekend, like 3 days, where they did the food. And then the other times they had things outside, but I know that could cause people congregating. So they also had people inside. I don't know if they had to make appointments, but my thought was, if you had people make appointments, you say, okay, we're going to be open for appointments only. And you you had someone at the door, someone's obviously going to have to be on duty, that they would have them do the same thing, sanitize their hands, take their temperature, and wear a mask and come in. And you could even, 8 people, you could do 5 people, you could do whatever you're comfortable with. My thought is, you do this when you go into a store, and if they're following all the guidelines and they come into the senior center and have a chance to look around at the things in a safe way, and then they leave, and you make sure whatever you give, it's a half-hour time period or whatever you do for these 8 people or 5 people, whatever you decide on, that I thought that would be a safe way to do it. And my suggestion was to do it like, prepare it on a Monday, but be open from like Tuesday till Sunday, 1 week period time. And you set your times and you advertise it, and people have to call in. And I think instead of having people congregating outside, waiting to get in, which is where you could have problems, you could only do it by appointment only. And is it worth it to do it like that? These are all questions, but it's a thought to me. And I think we have enough people that could organize it and have just the Friends group, the Golden Ages group, and the 2 vendors that Claudia has spoken to, have their stuff set up. And of course, you have to count them as 8 people if they're going to man their tables. So that's my thoughts.
I like that idea. I think that's something we should definitely investigate.
Any other ideas? That is a good idea, Nancy.
That sounds doable if you could do it over a period of days rather than cram it all into one day.
Yep.
You have the manpower down there
I have a question.
that it would happen.
Question?
The vendors would count as part of the 8? Is that what Nancy said?
Yes, it would have, I think you'd have to count your vendors and your people inside, but
So you
this,
can only have 4 people in at a time then,
What
if you had
what
4 vendors.
What if we made sure that all the vendors had their things marked, so that we had maybe 2 people in there all the time taking the money and putting them in their carts? Would that be a possibility? So they didn't have to be there 8 days in a row, 7 days in a row.
so I have a question. If we ended up using the town office building where we could put the baskets for the, that 8 people, and then it'd be 8 people in here, right? So that would be 16, right, Mallory? If we used the town office one? I can't hear you, hon.
One way, Claudia.
What?
Go in, we were talking about having directional signs. People come in the main entrance and go out the entrance of the town offices.
Yes,
If we have
yes.
things going that way, we could probably do it.
Yeah.
Nobody comes in till somebody goes out the other end,
And the formula for people allowed in the building is based off of square footage. So I'm not sure what the square footage of that room is, so that might change. If you do both those rooms, it might change how many you're allowed to have in.
It's
What did the committee come up with? The Christmas committee?
Well, we met once and we talked about the baskets. We were gonna do the baskets. We talked a little bit about the fair. We haven't had a second meeting yet. I think we talked about about here, pretty much.
Our meeting scheduled today at noon.
Oh,
Oh,
Just in case you forgot.
I didn't know. I didn't.
good. We can have them have their meeting and talk about the things that we spoke with today. Bonnie?
Is
Did
it,
you wanna-
I'm the least technologically savvy person in the world. But would it be possible to arrange the baskets like in a row and then do a little video around each one and then put that on the town website so that people could see what was in the baskets? And be able to judge whether they wanted to pick number 2 or number 10 or whatever. I'm just trying to
Mallory
think
said
of
that was
more
a
and,
good idea.
huh?
That
I
is a
said Mallory
possibility.
said that was an idea.
this is an idea.
It's very possible. You can also do things like a live stream video. I know the town has a Facebook page. You can put things on the Facebook page, or people take the video walking around the basket, and then people have the option of, just putting in an order form like the church is doing with what baskets they want to be entered into. I participate in the Festival of Trees every year in Sturbridge, and this year that's exactly what they're doing. They have a video and photos, and they're walking you around each Christmas tree that you want to bid on, and then you're buying your tickets virtually, and they get all put into a bucket that way.
That's an idea to talk about this afternoon.
Would just make the looking at them be more accessible to more people, more than 8 people anyway.
Yeah. So keep that in mind this afternoon, Nancy, when you're having your meeting. See what you think. Is there any more questions on that?
We definitely need to consider that at the meeting today. Thanks for reminding me. I wouldn't have been there. I forgot all about it.
And we can sell Hunter stew, right? Mallory,
They can't,
can you hear me?
Still happen as long as it's however you're planning on doing it, the food can still be sold as long as it's made in a serve safe kitchen.
Oh, I'm not
you're
hearing.
breaking up, Mel. You're breaking up, hun. We didn't get that.
Sorry. Yeah, the soup can still happen. Depending on how you want to do it. If you want to do the pre-orders, you can do it that way, but it would just be like delivering meals. So if you wanted to do it outside, it could happen outside, just like where we do the food pickup on the back porch. But that's something that could definitely still happen.
Oh, that's
That's
a
good to
thought.
know.
You could sell the Hunter stew on the Thursday of that week, if we did it a week long, whatever, on the Thursday when people do the food pickup. You wouldn't even have to do pre-orders because you go into their car. You could have it sitting out there and then they pay for it or they don't. You know what I mean? The option would be that they could buy it when they come pick up their food.
Well, those are you guys' ideas.
It would work.
Yeah.
It's a good
Good
idea.
idea.
If I
Good
could,
idea.
if I could suggest something, number one,
You could always have them.
try to do everything you normally do. These are not normal times. You should try to pick the stuff that you can really make some money on, like the baskets, things of that sort, and kind of compress it a little bit because you're not going to be able to do everything. I'll tell you that right now. I went to UMass yesterday. They tightened things up tremendously. I couldn't get upstairs, quite frankly. They gave me a guest certificate tag, and I had to wait in the coffee shop area. So there are, things are gonna
Well,
have to,
I guess we'll leave that up to Nancy and Claudia and John this afternoon.
God bless
Let
you.
us know what they want to do. Gave them some ideas anyway.
So do we need to take a short, how many people think we ought to, do this? Or maybe some people think we should just do the cemetery baskets, and maybe we could do the other baskets, maybe a little soup, maybe do just the three things. Do we have what do you think? I mean, we need your guidance here to tell us exactly what are you thinking we should do?
I think those three things makes a lot of sense. Many organizations are downsizing their holiday fundraisers and gatherings. And I think we could manage those three things.
What's everybody else think about that?
I think that's a
John?
good idea to concentrate on the things that we do well and that are relatively profitable. And gonna have to let some of the other stuff go by the boards.
I
Bill,
agree.
your input or Ken?
Yeah, no, I agree. Let's concentrate on what we do well. As I said before, make it manageable. We don't want to shoot ourselves in the foot by trying to go overboard and we can't accomplish it. So let's do that. So,
Bill?
this afternoon, Claudia.
I'm sorry, John, what
Those
did
you
you,
can put back.
John, what did you say?
I said, I think that's correct. We can discuss that today. What time did you say the meeting was, Nancy, at 1 o'clock?
Noon?
Yeah,
Well,
I think we said noon,
okay,
12.
I can get there.
Jane, your opinion on it? Your vote?
Yeah, if it's manageable in the time frame we have to plan it, and it's safe, then I don't see why not, why we shouldn't go ahead.
Okay. Bill? Your input, Bill?
Yeah, no, I agree with what everybody's saying. You have to cut
Okay.
back a little bit and decide what is the most profitable. I
So
think it's
they're
a great
gonna-
idea.
You'll discuss the soup and the cemetery boxes and the baskets then this afternoon, and let us know what they decide on.
Are you going to do swags or things like that for the doors as well as cemetery baskets?
well,
don't-
we have Jane and myself and Joanne. Is anybody else going to help us do the swags or the baskets? Do we have anyone else interested in helping
I
us?
can help you with the cemetery boxes.
Okay,
But swags and stuff, they're sort of hard to do unless you're really concentrating on everything. Cemetery boxes aren't gonna, you can do more of those than you can do the swag in the time.
Oh, okay.
You know,
I mean,
if somebody
Bonnie,
wanted
if you
one,
want, Bonnie, if you want
Yeah.
swag, you do it, I'll make you one.
No, I have a lovely wreath that I got from Jane last year and I'm going to use that. on the door.
you know, I think the cemetery boxes don't take as long as doing swags. So
Oh, okay.
if you're gonna do swags, you would get an order for them because they're, a little more difficult to do than cemetery
Mhm.
boxes. You can whip up in no time.
Ah, okay.
It's just getting the greens before the snow.
Yeah, that's true.
Are
The
there
one
any-
that I think that just doing the fair is going to be a morale booster for people in the town because it's a ritual that they've had every year and they've looked forward to. And the fact that we're still going to do it, even on a compressed time frame and scale, is going to be make people happy that not everything has gone away with COVID.
Bonnie, can you write me up something like that to put on Facebook about the fair?
Yeah.
if I can get you some, maybe we can pin down
Yep.
some dates.
And
And if
details,
you write
yeah.
something really nice, we can put that on Facebook and on the website and let people know.
Sure.
So we'll let you know what we want to put in it. I mean, a lot of people can order by phone too. If they want something, they can order by phone. We can take their name and number and we can have it ready for them to pick up. So
That
that
sounds
we
good.
can do also. Yeah. All right. So you got that, Vaughn.
Okay.
So the committee will let us know what they decide on this afternoon and maybe we can write up something. Is that okay with the committee? Yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nancy's going like this. Any more questions? Any more things that you want to cover today? Always.
I was talking about the programs for the future. I did book an April appointment, a program with a singer group. They do comedy and magic and, so I did book them for the 21st of April. So,
Is that something that's going to be underwritten by the Cultural Council?
putting the cultural councils, yeah. They wanted to know if I would put in $50 to with it, and I said yes. That we could afford to do $50 and the cultural
No.
committee would put the other.
That's not how the letter went, Claudia.
Well, she called me. Didn't she call?
Oh, after letter?
She
Okay, the
called.
letter says that we're not giving, the letter says we're not giving 50.
Oh. Didn't you call me, or she called me and I said,
She
yeah, we
wrote
could,
that letter.
because she called
I
me on
know,
that.
I called you too. Whatever, she typed up the
All right.
letter and I signed it.
Well, good. Whatever they do is good. There's so much going
We'll
on that you
find out about the April thing later.
Yeah.
Anything else?
don't even know if it will go on. We don't know how long this corona will be, but I was starting to book, people are calling and starting to book some programs and stuff. So probably be limited. I won't book too much.
Yeah, you don't know what's going to happen.
Right. We don't know what's going to happen.
Anybody else have anything to say before I close the meeting?
Well, I want to say Bill is going to have a cataract operation. I'm looking at him here. And I remember giving him a ride to high school in my cruise. You gotta be 40 or 50 then. I might be too old for all this stuff.
Yeah. As long as everybody stays good.
Excuse me.
God bless you.
Stays good and enjoys the holiday.
No, I got allergy.
You better
Yeah.
get over that before your
Killing
cataract
me.
operation.
No, I know.
You don't want to be coughing and sneezing.
All right, any other questions
I
or?
know, my
or close the
eyeball will
meeting?
fall out.
Everybody ready to close the meeting?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Motion to adjourn.
Adjourned, and I don't have the time.
It's 10:51.
10:50.
10:51.
All right.
All right, and John and Nancy and Claudia will let us know more about the Christmas thing. And we'll go from there.
And Jane,
And Jane, yes, I'm sorry, Jane. All
Okay.
right. Motion to adjourn?
I
Nobody?
make a motion.
Second.
Bill, yeah,
All right,
Bill already made it.